Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Unplugged Live. It's Monday, 9:30 p.m. Lisbon time. Here we are for another Unplugged Live session. So I'm just gonna wait a minute for my colleagues to join. So they should be here at any moment. Okay.
Good evening.
Hello,
Good evening,
Sergio. How are
Lionel.
you?
Everything's fine. How are
Yeah,
things down in Lisbon?
yeah, everything great. Just had another amazing tour today. Starting in a different location. We went to some beautiful spots, so everything's great. And well, I just added Gabriel over here, just waiting him to join. As always, unfortunately, we have a few technical issues here with Facebook, but hopefully this will get sorted in a minute, and we can have Gabriel joining us. Meanwhile, good evening to all of you watching. So another Unplugged Live. In a minute. Good evening, Vitor. And well, I'm just waiting a little bit, see if Gabriel manages to join us. We have always these technical issues in the beginning. But well, as I was saying, Sergio, today was a great day. I went once again to the little hidden winery that I usually visit. Let me see if I managed to add Gabriel over here, because it seems like there's a few issues.
I hope that you got some nice stuff, some exclusive stuff from the winery.
Well, they have great stuff over there. In fact, some very exclusive stuff that you don't find in the market. And I had the chance to already, take to some of my guests to try here and there. Let me see if I manage to add Gabriel again. Facebook is messing up with us, and I think we have Gabriel now. So, good evening, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone.
Oh, so here we are. Well, someone's saying that you are at the party already, Gabriel. So,
Yeah,
Not me,
you're
though.
gonna start the party season, right?
yeah. You
Oh,
are so mean. You are so mean. But now we are having a procession. So just pray, keep the faith.
Yeah. So here we are, the three of us again together. I'm Lionel Rodrigues from Desirable Portugal Tours, based in Lisbon. You might have seen me around, so I went live twice today, and I was very happy to do this tour. This was a tailor-made tour, starting in Peniche, so totally off the chart. With me, I have Sergio Costa from Portugal EV Tours, based in Porto, and a specialist of Douro Valley and some special wine tours over there. And Gabriel Lima, the guy from the Great Life Tours in the Algarve. At least that's what he says.
Right,
And
exactly.
you can have actually a great life in the Algarve, even on the very busy times of the year. You just need to know where to go. And like everywhere, even in Douro Valley or here around Lisbon, it's possible to have a great life and a great experience if you really know where to go or what to do.
Exactly.
And I'm going to touch this subject. Last week I had 3 tours of Sintra. The other week I had 3 tours of Sintra, and this week I might be in Sintra as well. And I went on a hike last Saturday, just as a personal walk in some trails of Sintra, because I like to go, as you know, off the beaten paths, and to see a lot of different things, and always to assess different approaches. And I've been seeing a few things, and I released a video recently about a few things that are going on. And I get a little bit concerned. I don't want to sound negative about this, but I'm getting a little bit concerned about certain behaviors that we see around when people travel around here. What is going on? Well, a lot of places keep being advertised mostly on social media or on blog articles as a fairy tale place, as a very unique must-do experience. And in fact, the must-dos are one of the things that sometimes, drives me a little bit crazy, because what was a must-do 5 years ago has totally gone off the must-do list nowadays. But people still follow this, and they try to reach those places in any possible way. They try to get there for the must-do picture, for the must-do thing. And we are having too many people at the same time, at the same place, very, very often. This happens not around Sintra, or not only around Sintra, but it happens in certain places in the Algarve, in the Douro Valley, all across the country. We have a few hotspots like this. And this is creating a few issues. I addressed the issue of all of the wear and tear that we get in these very sensitive places, some of them UNESCO heritage places, and people go there and it's the vegetation, it's the constructions, it's the whole things. This gets us into the other subject that ends up being the safety issue, okay? And the safety issue, I'm not going to talk about people being on the cliff, taking pictures over a wall, taking pictures into certain places where, the laws of physics are challenged, and give it or not, or like it or not, the laws of physics always win. So do not challenge them. But I'm really feeling about the amount of people in certain spots. If something just happens, okay? It's like you are in a certain place that is so busy that if you need to, have someone to get some help, or someone that is not feeling well or whatever, it's a bit too much. It's too many people around, and this is in fact something that people need to assess. It's not because of the others, it's because of themselves. So imagine that you are going into a street that is packed, into like a mob packed street, or a location that you're trying to get a picture. You manage not to get a picture. My personal recommendation, it's to slow down your pace, move back a little bit, step back a little bit, go to see something else nearby, then go back to that place to try to get that picture, or to assess if it's getting a little bit quieter later, because we are having a high concentration of people at the same spots, and we are still in May. So it's pretty much okay just to take some precautions on planning where to go, on planning to go to certain places at different times of the day. And this is a true example, not just into Sintra, but it applies to plenty of other places. Yes, it's interesting to see what Pedro just said. The Instagram photo, it's already on Instagram. Why not try something else? Yes, for sure. So why will people take all the same pictures and repeat all the same pictures, just in different in different accounts with different different people on the picture, but the same picture of the same place? The thing is really this. My personal advice is, if you feel that it's going to be too crowded, if you feel that it's going to be too busy, probably plan a different timing, or try to assess really what is the best time of the day to get to a certain place, because some people cannot plan a different time of the year, because this goes up and down. And some interesting approaches. This is something that, for example, Google Maps uses on the restaurants, the busy hours. I really would like to see that more spread out through different locations. I think it does that in certain monuments as well. So it tells you the busy hours. And that might make the total difference in your experience, okay? So I'm going to give you an example, and this might sound very, very crazy. I was in Óbidos today, And when I got there, 9:30 in the morning, that it's quite early. It was already packed with buses, but we managed to walk in town. But at 11, when we left, it was a mob over there. Well, if you want to go to the place to take that picture, okay, get early, get there instead of 9:30, 10 a.m., get there at 8 a.m. Get there as early as possible. You'll have the chance to take that great picture if the picture is really important for you. Get there as early as possible. You will get the picture, and then when the mobs come on, when the crowds come in, you already get your shot. You already got your picture. In certain monuments, this is hard to get, but during the day, and we are speaking about monuments with opening hours or closing hours that you need to deal with, during the day, there are some peak hours or not in certain places. And this, it's where the local knowledge can be very, very valuable for that, because we are on the field constantly, okay? Although I usually say that is a bit hit or miss and hard to predict in certain places, we tendentially know that, by example, bus excursions at lunchtime in certain places, you don't find them because they're having lunch. Okay, so if you want to go to a place that you want to avoid the crowds from the bus excursion, probably go there at lunchtime. Have a snack earlier or have a snack later, and this is creating for you just some photo ops, but it's also working on behalf of your safety, okay? And when I say safety, some people feel not so good amongst crowds. Some people have mobility issues and they have a hard time walking when you have, well, too many people pushing around. So this is something that needs to be assessed. And even on the hot spots, it is still possible here and there to get one or another time on the day that things get a little bit slower or a little bit quieter. But that is really something that local knowledge, it's truly valuable because we are on those places day after day, so we can help a lot to plan those things or to program those things to advise the best time to get there. So I'm seeing places getting busier and busier, and this is one of my first recommendations. The other one, and this might sound a little bit more harsh, but unfortunately I need to address this. It's the respect for private property, and I keep seeing people carving on walls, writing on monuments. Today I was at the Buddha Eden garden, and the Buddha statues are full of some small graffitis. Okay, people writing messages, writing stuff. In Óbidos, the walls are all written with the blue paint. Some of these things already give you fines. A lot of people don't know, but going to certain places and damaging the monuments already can give you to a fine. So you don't want your vacation to be ruined because you are getting fined by this kind of stuff. And then there are other things that are in fact entering restricted areas. So some of them are very identified, near cliffs, near waterfalls, that kind of stuff. But that is very straightforward. The signs are always there. But this is something that also needs to start being taken in consideration. No picture or no message or no kind of writing whatever is worth a vacation ruin, because you end up facing some hefty fines. But this is getting enforced more and more here and there, and some private properties can really be very strict into those things because they have their own security, and they can even call whoever responsible to give you the fine. So I've seen this happening, and no one wants visitors to come over here and to have this kind of experience. But I monopolize a little bit the time. So picking on this subject, I'm just going to go a little bit around. Let me throw the ball to you, to Sergio, if this rings a bell to you, what kind of recommendations you can get, because Douro Valley is starting to get hot as well from next month onwards, right?
Oh yeah. So good evening, everyone. Speaking of the Dodo Valley, well, what I can tell you is that I'm gonna be busy pretty much 7 days for the next week. So I'm gonna start on Monday, and then I'm just gonna wrap things up on Sunday. So it's gonna be 7 days, even though I vouched myself that I wouldn't be doing a tour on Sunday. I actually have a special person that I'll be hosting on a very special tour that is very dear to me, precisely off the beaten path. Some of the things that I've been telling people about to do. So we're gonna do a weekend over at Douro and the Down. And so it's a tour that is very dear to me, and precisely because we are going to do this thing over 2 days, that's why I opened up the exception of just hosting this tour on a Sunday. But yeah, you mentioned quite a few things, and I was over here taking notes on my computer as well. So I actually want to start with some of the safety concerns that you have. And let me just say this, and I know that the type of customers, the type of persons and travelers who see our videos, and even our colleagues, this is actually going to resonate with them, with everyone. So I usually like to say, and this goes back quite a while, a person is smart, but people tend to be dumb, stupid, and panicky.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
a person individually is very smart. It's very aware and can easily make a quality judgment or assessment of any given situation. We actually had this example just 2 weeks ago over here with the
Oh,
blackout in
yeah.
Portugal, 3 weeks ago, where we saw that persons, individuals, they were being kind of smart, but then all of a sudden the mob mentality took over, and 2 hours into the blackout, people were rushing into the supermarkets to buy water. They were just hoarding all of the products. They were buying water, they were buying toilet paper, they were buying food, canned food. There were some fights breaking out over batteries. So yeah, it just goes to show that the mob mentality can actually be something that is a little bit dangerous.
You you
And
you, you are
once we
going
are
right where I wanted to point out. Well, keep on.
Yeah, so this is something that you want to avoid, because if you're in the middle of a mob, chances are that you are gonna be just swept away by this mob mentality, and
Hmm.
it's just a psychological effect that happens. It's studied, it's documented. So when we're in a part of a mob, we tend to do what the mob does, and we try to just defer our better judgment and put it into second place. So this is pretty much it. You were also talking about laws of physics. Well, I actually have a tirade about this. It was actually Elon Musk that said it over the construction of his rockets. Um, we call it laws of physics because that's the only thing that you cannot break,
Hmm.
because everything else is basically a recommendation. And so, yeah, laws of physics. Well, if you're standing too close to a cliff and there's a chance that you might fall, well, I'm sorry, but the law is, well, it's gravity and it's going to happen. And we have a few of those examples, unfortunately, where people just took a gamble to take that perfect picture. And I don't think it's worth having this kind of risk for a beautiful picture. And I would even go as to say you can even have much better pictures. And this is actually something that I did last week with a couple that I hosted. I actually told them two things. They booked a somewhat different tour with me, and I told them, so some of the places that we're going, they're actually going to be somewhat crowded, and this is true for the Douro Valley. You were talking about crowds, Lionel. There's this mentality that, for example, if you don't go to a certain place to do while you're doing a certain tour, then you haven't visited this specific region.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you haven't done such a thing, and usually what I tell people, if someone tells you to do that, run from those persons. For example, at the Douro Valley, I would say that those things that must see, must do. Oh, go to the Winery X because they have a beautiful view, or sleep in the Winery Z because you have a different sleeping experience over there. And people who are familiar with the Douro Valley, they immediately know which two wineries I'm talking about over here. So there's
Hmm.
a lot of this, and you think, oh, it's probably sounds like a great experience, but once you see that, well, it's more of a front that they put up than anything else. For example, the sleeping accommodations, they were built specifically for tourists, even though they tout them as being original and whatnot. And then the fantastic view, yeah, it's a great view, but very close by to that winery, you have even better views. And I actually took guests to those other viewpoints that no one else goes to. And from that area, we were actually able to see the Marão mountain range, and they were not expecting to see the mountain range from more than
you
40.
remember which winery I used to go, right?
Yep.
And I used to say it's because the buses can't go there.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the one. And so, yeah, there's quite a few different options. But then these persons, the guests that I was with, they were finding super weird that I told them, well, the last winery that we're going to, we actually have a little bit of time between lunch and the winery because I make it on purpose to book the very first tours at the first winery and the very last tour at the last winery to make sure that I avoid all the crowds. And so it makes for a somewhat longer day, but at the same time, people don't even realize how time is going by because things get fluid. And the transition between the first winery into a cruise, into lunch, and then into the last winery is very seamless. And that's what they actually told me at the end of the trip. So we didn't even notice that 11 hours had gone by while doing a tour. So don't just look at the clock, look at other things. But I told them that we were going to see a couple of different viewpoints, and because we had time for it, I wanted to show those persons, my guests, uh, viewpoints that are different and they are a little bit off the beaten path, and that, in my opinion, are some of the best of the valley. And so they basically were 100% with me in that regard. And then a couple found it weird when I said to them, well, I kind of hope that it's going to be raining by the time that we get to the last winery. And they were like, why did you expect that? And I told them precisely what you were saying right now, because the sunny picture, everyone has it. But not everyone has the picture with the rainbow or the picture with the clouds or with the picture with the clouds just rolling on top of the mountain where it looks like a big wave. And sure enough, we went there. We were having a tasting, fantastic winery, panoramic view. It's basically a 270-degree view, very panoramic. You have the mountain range on one side, you have the river on the other side, and rain started to fall as we were having the tasting. And then they were like, you were right. This makes it having rain outside, it was even a hailstorm that we had over there that day, having a hailstorm over here right now, and having us sipping on some wine and enjoying some cheese and some charcuterie tastes really, really good, and it makes the experience all the better. So yeah, we have some of these examples. Another ones that I have over here that I've pointed out for you, and these are some of the safety concerns. And again, back to the mobs. We have a big holiday coming up tomorrow, holiday quote unquote. And by the way, congratulations to our American viewers on the election of the first American Pope. And tomorrow we're going to have the 13th of May, which is the apparitions of Fatima. Since we're talking about religion, it's going to be an extremely crowded day over there in Fatima. And even the period leading up to the 13th of May, it's already very crowded on weekends in Fatima. And so if you have the opportunity, and if you don't like crowds, and if you don't if you don't feel comfortable around very big crowds, we're talking over, I don't know, Lionel, probably over 100,000 people who are expected over there.
I would say way more. Okay, it's not comparable to when we got the Pope over here, but
Yep.
Having the main square almost full well, it should be pretty much full already this evening. Expect it to be some good 300,000-400,000, if not more.
Yeah, so 100,000, I'm
Yeah.
being very conservative, and it's if it's raining, then attendance will be lower, but expect to see over there basically two full soccer stadiums worth of people in Fatima tomorrow. So that's normal. So plan accordingly, basically. And another example is the one that I keep on saying, and this is not just me saying anymore. These are the customers that I host during their day trips over there. They all say the same thing. Driving over here at the valley on these roads, And sometimes they are very surprised when they ask me, but the road that we're in, this is actually a two-way road, and I'm a one-way road. And I tell them, no, no, this is the width of one lane, but this is actually just this is a two-way road because we're actually going to need to take this road to get out of the vineyard. And they were like, oh, I couldn't drive over here. I couldn't. Some people feel somewhat comfortable, but I would say that for the majority of people that I host, for a matter of safety and for a matter of their own enjoyment, they find that hiring a driver that takes them to a driver or guide that takes them to these select wineries, we put all of the legwork in for you. And going back to what you said at the very beginning, the must-sees and the must-dos are different from what they were 5 years ago to today. The example that I always give is it's like drinking wine. Our changes taste, and it's something that is a little bit more fashionable back in the day. Like, for example, in terms of wines, 5 years ago, 6 years ago in the US, everyone was talking about the Cabs, the Cabernets, etc. Last year, 2 years ago, everyone was talking about the Zinfandels. So this is something that changes on a somewhat regular basis. And what is a highlight right now might not be in 5 years, and what was a highlight 5 years ago might not be it today. And so these things are constantly changing, constantly evolving. And this is one of the reasons why we put a good amount of effort into crafting itineraries and fine-tune them over the years. The itinerary that I host today for my more standard Oro Valley tour is different from the one that I hosted 3, 4 years ago. There's a couple of things that changed. I changed the place for lunch. I changed the time at which I do the cruise. I changed the place of the last vineyard. So, and I will probably be changing a couple of things more in the coming years. One of the things that I want to change is precisely the first place that I go to, which I feel is one of those things that even though I go there during the first schedule, um, it's starting to get crowded. And so I've
Everybody's
already,
following you to the top of the hill,
yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, and
And so
I
getting back
totally
from the
understand
top
you.
of
I
getting
used
back,
to go there several years ago, and sometimes it already felt
oh,
crowded. I don't want to
no,
imagine nowadays.
when I started 7 years ago, it was peaceful, it was tranquil.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when I go there, when I leave the place, there's already some 30 to 40 persons inside. So yeah, I don't think, and the place is fantastic. The views are great. The products are okay. But if you start putting a lot of people together, concentrating in the same place, then the mob mentality is going to take over. And you want to
Mhm.
be there. You want to enjoy a couple of glasses of wine and some good products, enjoying the fantastic view. And you can't if there's 15 other persons sitting in front of
Mhm.
you.
Yeah,
So
I
that's the
agree.
issue.
Totally, totally
So
agree.
let's give a little bit of space for Gabriel to talk a bit about the Algarve right now and the things that he's experienced over there. As you can tell, we're very passionate about these issues, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
showcasing these very unique experiences that we have. But on top of our
Yeah.
mind is always the safety and the satisfaction of the customers.
Yeah.
So, Gabriel, what do you have for us?
Well, I've been listening to you. I've been listening, and well, I can second what everything you said. And well, now I have 1 minute, so I'm gonna be short.
Oh, God.
No, just kidding. No, he said it all, and so I'm just gonna share my side too, which is very similar. I've been, I'm quite a writer. I like to read a lot about also psychology. I've been into sales world, and in a sales world, we can a bit like psychologists too. So we need to study our market, the profile of our guests, the profile of people, and then after so many years, over 30 years working with people, I mean, there are so many different kind of people. And like I always say, all kind of travel, the way people like to travel by foot, by train, by whatnot, I mean, they are legit. So as soon as people they feel happy, fine. Of course, we also need to address as a travelers that we impact the places we are visiting. I've been visiting many places too, and I always try to be conscious about the place I'm visiting. So, for instance, I don't do there what I don't do here. So I just definitely I don't drop bottles or something to the side of the road. And when I drive, very rarely I drive in other countries, but for instance, I don't stop in the middle of the road just because I'm looking for my, the directions or something. For sure, if I do a mistake, I'm going to try to find the next roundabout to turn around. I'm not going to cross over the solid lane. I don't park on the sidewalks, and definitely I don't leave my car with half car in the middle of the road. And to be honest, I've been seeing this happening more and more and more. Okay, so this is the impact as the travels they can also bring to these places. But I mean, there are many other things, and like you said, Lionel, I know quite well also Sintra and the hills there and everything else. So sometimes people, they put themselves in danger. Like, well, even today I had my back office day, but it was so busy. I've been selling, and I sold today 4 or 5 tours, I don't remember, but two or three they were about the off the beaten path. And then I also told some folks that they are coming to visit us here in July. And as you know, July, it's the peak season of madness in the Algarve. So for me, in my mind, when people, they ask me to go to Marinha Beach, to Ponta da Piedade, to all these super popular spots, I have to be honest with them. And then I tell, it's not easy to park there. Some people, they park really badly. And many times they just cut the access to the road. I mean, sometimes this might happen. I remember a few years ago, something like this happened in Faroe Island, which is, it can be very busy in July and August too. And if people, they don't park the cars like they should, well, an ambulance can't go there. So if someone is dying because, it's drowning or something, and people, they are trying to save, the ambulance simply can't go there. So this brings, for sure, safety concerns. But, like I said, working with so many people and reading so much about the way people behave also in our industry as travelers, I would say that conformity is awarded by the world. So, everyone goes there, I want to go there. Conformity, fitting into something. Oh, I want to do the same things the other guys, they are doing, because maybe I'm going to lose something. Oh, and I want to show the same photo that my friends, they took at the Benegil Cave or the Pink Street, the magical Pink Street. It's something out of this world, there was a time people, they built the pyramids. There are other times where people, they paint the street with pink colors, and now it's almost as popular as the pyramids in Egypt. Of course, I'm talking now a bit with irony and sarcasm, but this happens a lot. I mean, people, they really tend to follow the pack. So, but if conformity is awarded by the world, I would say authenticity is awarded by happiness. Because only when we are authentic, only when we are searching for authenticity, we can find happiness. And why? Like you said, Sergio, because we are individuals. I'm not happy. I mean, for instance, some people, they love, I don't know, wine. Well, I love wine too, but some people, they don't like it. So why the hell people, they gonna drink wine if they don't like wine? Just because other people are drinking wine? It doesn't make any sense. But of course, conformity can bring some external validation and social acceptance. But again, authenticity leads to deeper sense of self-satisfaction and happiness. So what I try to help my guests when they come to me through Messenger, WhatsApp, email, even through Viator, I always try to, like I keep saying this, try to build a rapport. I try to know what people, they like most, what they prefer most, and then I try to help them. And I help not just my guests. I mean, some people, they are coming to visit us, they're gonna hire a car, they're gonna take the train, they're gonna take the bus. I try to help them with the knowledge I have from their region where I was born and raised. Like you said, I think it was you, Lionel, and Sergio too, of course you're gonna agree with us. We locals, we know better, period. I mean, we don't know everything. No, we don't know everything, but we know way more than any other random traveler. And even expats who are living here, they know, but they don't know in depth everything around
Let
here.
me
And many
let me
times
just
they live in bubbles.
let me just
So
interrupt you, Gabriel. Let me just interrupt you, Gabriel. And this is very, very recent, and I think the comment was deleted meanwhile. You had some, you replied to my comment just probably an hour ago or so in a post that someone was just saying, oh, we are back from this experience. We just loved it there. And someone asked, oh, how is the parking over there? I'm going in July.
exactly.
And the reply, oh, no, the parking is great. The parking was fine. The plenty of parking.
Lots of
Exactly.
parking.
And
When?
I needed to say, sorry, but parking in July, it's totally different from April and May. But that was
Exactly.
someone that had an experience a few weeks ago and pretty much was giving an information that was not accurate for the time of the year that the other traveler wanted to go. And this is
Exactly.
really a big problem because people read from someone, oh, we were there, we were here, and it was perfect. There was no one there, and this was amazing. And then they go there, and the frustration is very big
Yeah.
because they cannot have that experience. So, in fact, what a lot of people end up posting online or saying online from their experience, um, people don't put that in context of
No.
time
No.
or when it really happened or in which conditions it happened, and they think they're going to get the exact same experience in a totally different period. This is a problem, and this information spreads so quickly that it drives thousands of people to big trouble, to frustration, and sometimes to ruin their vacation because they try to go somewhere where they can't. Sorry I interrupted you, but was
No.
very recent.
You touch a very good point, and you are so right. And again, just like I said, having this background, it's not just background. I'm not Haiti. I'm 52. I'm not Dale Carnegie or Albert Einstein, but I've been studying a lot, and I've been talking with lots of people. And I'm that kind of person, and my guests, they know me quite well. You already know me quite well. I don't mind to admit when I do some mistakes, and sometimes I also say dumb things, but I have a certain knowledge. So when I see people posting things like I mentioned last week, I've been doing a boat to Benagil, and then I went to Albufeira, and then I went to Tavira in the same day, and then they come and they say, it doesn't work to go to Tavira, it doesn't work to go to Sad, it doesn't work to go to Albufeira. What the heck? And then I saw people asking for more tips and suggestions. For God's sake, if people, they don't like locals, professional tour guides, or taxi drivers, whatever, because they think we are trying to rip them off, fine. But trust in these random advices, in these random suggestions, in these random tips, it's insane. And there's even worse, okay? But I'm not going to talk about the influencers who also know how people they behave, and then they find they build the right acts, and they guide people exactly to the spots where they want people to go and to work with their, for instance, their guides or whatever. So, well, we would talk. We would be talking here for hours. Okay, Thomas, professional tour guides are the best money. I mean, well, we are a bit, I mean, we are a bit suspects, but so many times people, they keep telling me this, people, they have a car, they come to me, and then they experience the authenticity of the Algarve, in my case, through me too. I'm a local, so spending time with a local, like I did in Brazil with Almeida, we went to the jungle, whatever, this is also part of the experience. And this is a much deeper experience. And usually, I mean, it doesn't mean things can go wrong with us too. But usually, we know how to avoid traffic. We know how to avoid wasting time in parkings. We know the places we shouldn't park because they could be danger. I've been hearing people getting some scratches in Lagos, for instance, in Lagos. I mean, a bit everywhere, but in Lagos, because why? Because, everywhere in the world, even in these very nice places, there are junkies, they are dealers, there are people just trying to do bad things, right? So, guys, I don't want to spend more time because it's already a long shot. But yeah, no, like you, I have this same passion, and sometimes we speak a bit out loud, but it doesn't mean we are mad or something. No, we just want to help people. We are different here. we are not afraid to talk about things that are not so popular, because we also are looking for authenticity, not conformity. I don't want to be just like other influencers or other guides. I am Gabriel and I am myself, and I'm very proud of what I try to offer to people. Some other guides here, and some guys like, for instance, I can say because they are my good friends, Pedro Abrantes, Johnny Tours, they do a wonderful job. Some people, maybe they like some more details about them, some they like about me, but we all have the same passion. We are locals and we speak out of our heart, and we are trying to help people. So guys, I'm gonna drop the ball to you just to finish. Safety, being wise, not following the crowds, no, don't conform just to visit the places other people are visiting. You deserve much better, and we are here to help you.
Well, just picking up on what you just said, and just to finish, as you know, I've released a video recently, so just 3 days ago. And one of the comments I got to that video was really, I wish I had seen this video sooner, because that would have saved me a lot of trouble while visiting Sintra, because I was stuck in traffic, I was stuck in lines, and I was desperately, trying to reach a certain place, which I ended up skipping because I could not make it. And pretty much this is it. We don't want to deter people to go here and there. We just want people to experience the real deal. We just want to have people to have the best time in here, with or without our services, because happy travelers, happy people will speak good things from our country to their fellows, to their friends, to their family. They go back home and they say they had a great experience in here. So that's what we want. Okay. And pretty much this is where I'm at. So well, it seems like we might have lost Gabriel for some reason. Well, I want to thank you for watching. I'm just going to pass to you, Sergio. I don't know if you have any final notes, but from my side, pretty much this is it. And well, we'll be back. I will showing up live once in a while here and there in certain spots. And we'll be back next week with more Unplugged Live. So, Sergio, final notes.
Yeah, it's basically what you just said just now. The popular places, they became popular for a reason, and once we go over a certain threshold, the popularity it actually turns into a negative aspect for those locations, because more often than not, they are not prepared. Those are some of the historical sites or locations where the access is a little bit more challenging, where the capacity for people is a little bit more reduced. And once we go over that threshold, the quality of the visit, the quality of the tour starts struggling a little bit. And in worst case scenario, that this might lead to some very serious safety concerns. This is pretty much it. So if you see a place being advertised, and we are fully aware that private tour guides are probably one of the most expensive investments that you can do. But the amount of
Also
knowledge that,
rewarding.
but also rewarding, and what we provide. Let's say, for example, if you book, I'm going to speak in my case because that's what I know. If you book a tour in a bus where we're going you're with 50 other persons, and it's an 8-hour tour to the Douro Valley, 8 hours divided by 50 persons, that basically means that you're going to have 10 minutes of time with the guide, if that. So you're not going to be able to extract a whole lot of information, and you basically paid an 80-euro tour for 10 minutes. Whereas when you pay for, let's say, for example, a 300-euro tour for 10 hours, I would say that when you realize what's being offered and the amount of information that you're going to be able to extract from a tour guide over the course of 10 hours, it's actually going to be quite a bit more interesting that you're going to be able to extract from an 80-euro tour from a guide in 10 minutes. So it's a
I'm
trade-off.
gonna add that to that post of how to make the math, because that is a very interesting approach.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
No, it's something that people should concern, and they often don't realize it. Just the other day, I had a call with a lady, precisely the one with whom I'll be doing that Dodo and Down tour next weekend. And she told me that she was a little bit lost in her travel planning and whatnot. And by having just a 1 hour conversation with me, she was able to advance more in her planning than she was in the past 3 weeks by herself. So there's value to be had over here. But all of this to say that if you're seeing, for example, plenty of tours within the same price range, and you see that those tours, they have the same price range because you're probably visiting the same locations. That's a very strong indicator that the places that you'll be visiting are going to be somewhat crowded, or that the quality of the experience is going to be a little bit subpar. But that's pretty much it, and that leads to all of the other questions that to the other issues that we've been talking over here today. So mainly the safety concerns. So there's definitely some trade-offs. One of the not so funny things, or sometimes it's funny, I don't know, depends on who is saying it and who is listening on the other side. But I heard a person say once that if you just want to pay peanuts, you're gonna get monkeys. So that's pretty much it. And but obviously, as long as people feel happy and they are at peace with their decision, and they realize that, okay, if I'm booking an 8 euro, 100 euro tour, I'll probably gonna have some constraints, some difficulties. I'm probably not gonna have a whole lot of time with the guide, etc. And if your expectation is just to go, see, be there, it's perfectly fine. I like to say, and Gabriel was saying this, he knows other guys in the area. I also know other guys over here in the north as well. And what I like to tell people is that what I do with them is my interpretation of the Douro Valley. I'm not saying, I never say that it's the correct way of doing it. It's the things that I selected based on the knowledge that I have, and those are the things that I think that are going to add value to the experience for the customer. So this is pretty much it. What I had to say. Lionel, you've already said your goodbyes. So, guys, once again, thank you very much for watching,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you next week. And well,
Bye bye,
have a great one.
guys.
Thank you very much. See you next
Bye.
week.
Thank
Have a
you.
great week ahead. Bye bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.